How's it going, gamers? I hope you guys are having a great day today. My name is Q, and today's video we are going to be reviewing and giving my impressions of the new Google Chromecast with Google TV. If you guys have been to my channel, you guys know that I have another video regarding side-loading apps, especially the Game Pass app on the Google Chromecast. So this particular video is going to go into just my impressions. I don't know if I want to call it a review, but just my impressions on the Google Chromecast and what it means, compared to other streaming media sticks out there, or even streaming platforms that are built into TVs. I think there's some relevance to the Google Chromecast when it comes to games, other than side-loading certain apps, Android apps that can run on the Google Chromecast, the new unit. There's also official apps that are supported via GeForce Now. So for a lot of the gamers out there that have subscribed to GeForce Now, instead of purchasing a very expensive NVIDIA Shield TV, the Google Chromecast becomes an alternative. And keep in mind that in 2021, Google is going to release the official Stadia app. It's definitely very interesting that Google doesn't have the Stadia app available right now for the new Chromecast, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, just from my initial testing of side-loading the Xbox Game Pass app, even though it's an unofficial app, it runs okay, doesn't run great. So maybe they're optimizing the Stadia app for the new Google Chromecast, and we'll see it in 2021. But that's another video for another discussion on Google Stadia and how well that is doing or not doing. But yeah, let's focus on the Chromecast. Quite out of the box, the Chromecast is a very easy device to set up. If you guys are familiar with a lot of streaming sticks out there, whether it's Amazon Fire TV or an Apple TV unit, it's a very similar interface where it takes up an HDMI slot. And then you have to power it, right? So this particular new Chromecast is USB-C, but they do give you a cable and a charger for it. So I'm pretty sure you can use the cable, because there is a USB-A type on the other end, to power the unit from one of your USB ports on your TV. And then the other thing is that a lot of TVs now have built-in smart device platforms built in, whether it's Android TV or other TV platforms. For me, I have an LG TV, and that LG has its own interface, but you can load up apps through the LG store. And then my other TV that I really use a lot is my TCL, and that has a built-in Roku interface. And out of all the interfaces that I've ever experienced with including Amazon and Apple, to me the Roku interface is the most responsive. It's easy, it's quick, and I tend to like it with the remote control that the Roku has. Very simple. There's also a remote control app that you can use with the Roku TV. So the way I'm gonna be kind of comparing and my impressions on this new Chromecast Google TV is just based on my experience on how well I enjoy using the Roku interface. But right out of the box, the new Chromecast comes with a remote, and the remote is very similar shape to the Roku remote. And the one thing that you'll notice are that there's two quick buttons that you will either launch YouTube or Netflix, right? But the other added benefit to the new remote from the Chromecast is that it has Google Assistant, and you can use voice commands, and we'll definitely talk about that in a few minutes. But yeah, overall the control is very nice. It uses it's Bluetooth, but it also has an IR sensor built in. So that's the other nice thing, is that the unit itself can also control your TV volume, power, and also your sound bar. So that's the other benefit of retrofitting either an existing TV or just utilizing this over your TV's smart TV interface, is that the Google remote itself is an all-in-one remote, which is pretty convenient. It's able to run my TV, turn it on and off with the power, but it also activates my Bose sound bar as well too, which is pretty fantastic. I definitely enjoy the usability and easeability of those features built into the remote for the new Google Chromecast. The other thing is, setup is fairly simple. You boot it up. It's gonna ask you once you connect it to your local Wi-Fi, it's going to check for updates, and then if there's any updates, it's going to download it, install it, and then restart the system. And then after that, what's going to happen is you're going to see an instructions to basically download the Google Home app, and then with the Google Home app, you can add it from there. So my house, I do use Google Home because I have Google Wi-Fi and also have Home Assistant as well. So opening up the Google Home app and then just clicking on adding the Chromecast to it, is very easy because it'll detect it on my network. But if it doesn't detect it on my network, on the Google Home app on the upper left-hand bar, there's a plus sign that you can click on that and add it manually as well too. But the nice thing is that in the instructions of the new Chromecast when you boot it up is that they also give you a QR code. So once you scan that QR code, it automatically connect and configure the Chromecast into your Google Home system. So that's a very nice, cool feature, and you knew that they were going to add that. I have a Google Home Assistant connected on my Google Home, so by adding the Chromecast, it automatically installs my profile and the profile of my families into the voice assistants on this new Chromecast. So yeah, it's from a setup standpoint, it's pretty straightforward. I didn't run into any problems. And then booting into it, it's basically as you expect. If you guys are familiar with Android TV, basically Google TV is basically the rebranding of Android TV. So there's a lot of TVs out there that are labeled as Android TV, and moving forward it's going to be Google TV. And one of the things I wanted to really try out here is that the whole selling benefit of this new Chromecast with Google TV is that Google TV is going to become your single point aggregator. So instead of going into your individual apps and searching for movies and content that you might be looking for either in your Netflix subscription or your Prime Video subscription, Disney Plus or Hulu or whatever, right? The Google TV interface in its home menu is really built around allowing you to find the information of what movies and what content you want to watch, and it'll automatically kind of let you know, where that content resides. And the first thing that you want to do when you boot up Google TV is to go ahead and log in to your accounts that you have. So whether, automatically there's already Netflix that's already pre-installed along with YouTube. So you want to log into Netflix, YouTube, Amazon Video, Disney Plus if you have that, and Hulu. And then I believe HBO Max was also on there as well too, and I do have an HBO Max subscription thanks to AT&T. So a lot of the pre-loaded apps that came out of the box from Google TV, I have subscriptions for. I haven't added more additional subscriptions to it yet, but just for the test of this, I've added the subscriptions to those particular interfaces. And then the nice thing is with the Google interface here, I'm going to kind of show you guys, there's a For You page, and based off of your viewing habits, it's going to list movies that are going to be tailored to the movies that you've been watching on your account, movies that you've been searching. So it goes, for my particular For My page, or for the For You page for myself, there's a lot of sci-fi, adventure, fantasy movies, especially comic books, a lot of the Marvels, DC, stuff like that. And then also YouTube, you'll see a lot of YouTube videos from my profile and also from my son's profile. So he likes to watch a lot of gaming videos and things like that, so you kind of see them pop up on here as well too. And then it's an aggregator of a lot of things that are happening in real time. So there's popular movies and shows that are showing up on Google search that's going to kind of show up on here to kind of give you an idea of what people are searching for, which is pretty cool. So let's go up to the very top here, and you can see that it's showing the Mandalorian because that just came out today on a Friday. Season 2 just dropped, but the nice thing is from here I can just go click and watch on Disney Plus, and it's going to boot up the Disney Plus. It already knows my subscription, it logs right into it, and it goes right into the Mandalorian. And the interesting thing about this is that depending upon which apps it is, it either goes directly into the movie and the movie starts playing, or it goes into it goes into just the app itself, and then you have to hit play to play the movie. So I think from that standpoint, it's it's not really apples to apples for all the different applications out there. For example, let's look at Superman Returns here, and it's on Netflix. So let's boot that up and see how it jumps right into Netflix. It's going to ask for my profile. It goes into the play page, and then it basically plays the video. So very smooth. So to me, the integration into Netflix and Disney Plus is pretty smooth. I believe I'm going to show you guys Amazon here, because I think Amazon I had an issue with. Here we go. Here's the Avengers on Prime Video, and we'll go ahead and click. Now I ran into some issues with Prime Video taking a while to boot up, and I just recently updated the Chromecast. It didn't have this problem when I first got it out of the box, but with the last update, for some reason Prime Video is running really slow on this, and there's a little bit of glitches here and there, so I don't know what's going on. Hopefully there's another update coming out soon, but as you can see in this video here, my Prime Video is not as responsive as Netflix and Disney Plus. Like it's actually taken a while to get into the movie, and sometimes what I find is it doesn't even go into the movie. It goes into other movies on Amazon sometimes. So I believe there's a little bit of a glitch here. So I just want to be very transparent in my impressions, because it was working very smoothly out of the box when I first got this, but with the last update, there has been some issues related to Amazon Prime. But let me go back out. And let's look at Sucker Punch. That's Netflix. Let me try to find something on another streaming service. What do we have? I have HBO. So let's find a movie that's on HBO Max. Mostly Netflix and Prime. You can see what subscription service the movie or the content is in this, so it's pretty cool. It's definitely a nice aggregator of everything else. Actually, right now let's test the Google Assistant, the Joker. There you go, HBO Max. But you see how cool that was with just voice activation? All I did was clicked on the Google Assistant, spoke into it, and it found the content right away. So I'm gonna go ahead and boot up HBO Max here, and it goes right into the app. And let's see if it goes right into the movie. It goes right into the movie and it plays. Yep. So yeah, currently right now I think the only issue I'm having is with Amazon Video or Amazon Prime Video streaming. But other than that, all the other apps like boot in right away. Let me go out. Blackish. Let's see if that shows up on Hulu. Yep, it shows Hulu here. Go ahead and hit subscribe. So that's the other thing too, is right now there's a little bit of a glitch. So when you actually create an account, when you have an account with any of the subscriptions and you go to those content, whether it's movie or TV shows, you might see it still show subscribe, and it doesn't show that you've already have the subscription. I think over time there'll be some updates on the actual unit itself to kind of fix all that, but for the most part it's operating really well. It's pretty responsive. I've been taxing it by moving around, searching, going through it. I think the only thing that I didn't like about this is that it doesn't really allow you to organize your apps. Like all your apps are just kind of like predetermined. You can't really organize it in a certain way. You can kind of see where all your apps are in terms of what's on the machine itself, but it doesn't really give you a lot of customization for your apps in terms of which apps you want to move. That's one thing I liked about the Roku TV, is that you can install all these apps, but you can kind of move them and cluster them regarding which ones you're going to use more often. But maybe because the way they're aggregating everything, you might not need that. But it's still a nice option to have, to let the users customize some of that. But yeah, other than that, Google TV is really meant to orchestrate all your movie watching habits all into one. So yeah, so from my impressions, this is a very cool device. It definitely is up there in terms of comparing this to how usability and easeability compared to the Roku interface. I definitely like it a lot. I've since then have retired my Amazon Fire Sticks. I don't use that anymore, and the only thing now is to get the Apple TV app. I don't believe the Apple TV app is available on here, and that's the only thing that's missing if you guys subscribe to Apple TV. So it might not have all the different streaming apps that you guys use, but for the most part, for what I've been using it for, it has everything that I need all in one. Great little mini device, and at a good price. So just from that impressions, I think it's definitely a good pickup if you guys are thinking about picking up a smart TV device. And the nice thing about this is, like I said, with a lot of older TVs that don't have the smart TV feature, this is a great way to add that feature into your TV via an HDMI plug-in, and you're going to have all these quick usability. And the fact that it ties into Google Assistant is great, because the voice command on this is very responsive and very smooth. And if you do anything, it integrates well. It's a Google product, so it's going to integrate well with YouTube, and definitely with Netflix from what I'm seeing it. All the other ones look like they'll probably get better integration over time, but for the most part, this is a very positive outlook. I definitely recommend it. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and post comments down below, and I'll be happy to answer any questions I might have. And just to let you guys know, the Google Chromecast is available in 3 different colors, but to me, I really don't care. You're going to be plugging this behind your TV. There's no really need to worry about what color you want, though the colors also match with the remote. So from that standpoint, you guys might want to either choose the white, the blue, or the pink, because that's the remote color that you're also going to get, that you're going to use on your daily driver, right? So other than that, guys, let me know what you think of my impressions and my semi review of the Google Chromecast with Google TV. And if you guys are new here, go ahead and help me out and subscribe to the channel to grow the channel. We mainly talk about games here, but I also like to talk about tech and things that involve me as a average person, that other than gaming, some of the cool tech stuff and devices that I play around with. So yeah, I hope this impressions help you guys out. And again, thank you for stopping by. You guys have a great day and take care, and I'll talk to you guys later.